I'm a VFX artist, and at my free time, I'm experimenting with different ways of how to recreate effects from blockbuster movies. So today, I'm recreating iconic jump of Tom Cruise on a bike jumping from the hill. And I'm also gonna share some numbers of how much it could cost if I did it in a professional studio with a professional crew.
A big budget movie with a story that goes nowhere.
And would have a very professional result, of course. So I want to do it from the safety of my home, and I'm only gonna use items that I can find at home. I need a place to sit as far as the bike goes, so let's try to use the chair for that. And I also need a fixed point of reference for the wheel, otherwise my arms will be swinging around trying to find where the theoretical wheel would be, like it's not fake enough already. So for that I can use some like long stick, maybe a broom. Yeah, everybody has a broom. I do have a broom. I'm gonna put a blanket to kind of secure it, even though it's kind of flimsy, but hopefully it's gonna work. And now I need to fake the movement. I can use my hair and wind blowing into my hair, so let's find a fan. Okay, got the fan. But here's an issue with it. Since I don't have an assistant, it's really hard to navigate where the fan would be to blow my hair like I'm really driving. So I can only get this very, very little effect. Well, better than nothing, I guess. In order to imitate some movement of the bike, I decided to do another tricky thing. I turned my video, actually not my, I turned Tom Cruise's video into a sequence of images which I used for HDRI sequence. So this way my lighting was constantly changing, given the movement, given reflections on the metal parts of the bike. So this way we can see that it's moving, even though the wheels kind of give it away a little bit, but the scene was quick and short. So I hope it worked. Since lately women replace men in all the action movies, I decided to go with the trend and replace Tom Cruise in Mission Impossible 7. Roll power! So would it work? As a joke, maybe yes. For YouTube, I've seen worse videos. But as a professional production, of course, no. But with a couple of fixes, it could have worked. And let's go through these fixes and let's see the numbers for those fixes. First of all, they had a very beautiful, nice camera movement. I don't know if it was a drone, maybe it was crane. The movement was coming kind of from the side and then behind. I couldn't do it at home because I had a fixed point for the camera. It was a static shot because I don't have anybody else to film with me, or I don't have enough green screen space to film it. So I only could do this straight shot from behind.
Was shot from behind.
So what happened? What would have happened if we did it the proper way? Another issue I faced is that when I built this bike, the chair was too wide to imitate the seat of the bike. So my legs were kind of like too wide. Like I don't know how to sit on it, but I just couldn't sit any other way because the seat was pretty wide. And even though I used the puppet tool in After Effects, and that puppet tool was supposed to bring my legs together, that sounds weird, but it didn't really do a huge, didn't make a huge difference anyway. So to really replace a green screen prop with the 3D model, we need to build this prop very, very close to the real model. So all the proportions, height, weight, and everything should be almost identical, or even better, we should have a real bike even if we film in a green screen studio. Another thing, in a green screen studio, we would have to build it up a little bit so it's in the air, and the wheels would be turning, so this way we can see the movement. Also, another thing is we would need to build a rig for an actor, like straps imitating. First of all, he would jump from bike, and the second, the straps would kind of stop him from falling, like if the parachute has opened. So to build that, I don't know the cost for that, but I think it would be at least 10K. Another thing, we would need to have a stunt coordinator on set, which would be at least $800. And there's some few numbers. For example, you can rent a studio. Again, numbers are on the lower side. That's the deals I was able to find for my some other project some time ago. So now might be more expensive. You could find a green screen studio for $2,000 a day. Then you would need to have a crane. Crane would be, the rent of the crane would be at least $5,000 to $10,000. Let's count five, and you need at least four people to operate the camera and the crane, coordinate all of that. So that would be another three, four, $500 per person a day. And of course, for that many people, by California law, you have to feed them. So you have to provide catering, which would be another few hundred. I would say for a small crew, five, 600. For a crew starting from 30 people, we're talking about $1,500. Of course, we have to do the insurance and permits to shoot, which would be another few $100 per day, and that all before, like I calculated about 15 or 16. I'll put the number on the screen, $1,000, but that's before the VFX team would start working and cleaning up the background, and we would have to have markers on the green screen, so this way we can track real camera and transfer this data into 3D cameras, so this way we can replace the background and it would seamlessly work. That's something that I could not do in my apartment, in my home. So we're looking at $50,000 for one filming day, one filming shoot like that, to make it nice, to make it workable. Well, for Tom Cruise, of course, this number was much, much bigger because he had to build a ramp, like the whole ramp. And I think he was working on this effect and he was rehearsing it and trying and training himself with the whole crew, with the drone pilots, they call pilots. Like, how cool is that? I would never, I wouldn't, I hate planes, but I think pilot sounds so good. So I guess one day I will buy a really nice drone and I will call myself a pilot.
Pilot.
Drone pilot, but still a pilot. So with the whole crew, they trained for 6 months. So of course, those numbers just for that scene went to hundreds, maybe half a mil, maybe more. But I mean, that's Tom Cruise we're talking about. They used the whole scene, this whole stand as a main point of advertisement. So yeah, they did put a lot of money into that. But yeah, we could get away with 50K. And that's before the actors fee. All right, so I guess there's no more secrets to unveil for this one. And thank you for watching, guys. I hope that was interesting. And if you're curious and stuff like that, please give me a like, subscribe, and see you in the next video.